So this is our hip, 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 and hip. Now, when drawing your rafters, you are to start drawing the rafter from here. First rafter here, and these are referred to as common rafters. Common rafters are the rafters that runs from the ridge board down to the fascia board. So we start drawing here, and if you're using AutoCAD, you would offset this by 600. So we would offset to get the next one here, offset again to get the other one. Then we start to offset from here, 600, offset from here. If there's any difference, let this section be closer. That's one. We also offset here, 600, offset 600 to get these. Then you would trim off the excess here. For this part, you start here as well, and then you offset by 600. Yeah, these typically fall in place. What I normally do is to mirror these shorter ones along here, mirror these here to get those. So again, we start here. And of course, remember that the rafters on the plan view must be 50 millimeters or 2 inches. And that's how we draw these. Yeah, so these are typically 50 millimeters wide for the rafter. Now, what if we wish to what if we wish to add another piece of roof to this? Yeah, like in the case of this, yeah, where we add another piece to this roof. Yeah, how do we treat that? All right, let me use this one. So we have another piece of roof here, like that. How do we draw the rafter here? Again, we apply the same rule. Yeah, the rule states that rafters must be generated from a corner. So this one here was generated from a corner. This still valid, but if we were to extend this side here, yeah, our next step would be to establish our ridge first, find the center here, mark off the same distance from here and this to get your 45 degrees, or if you want to use your set square. If it's AutoCAD, what I would do is to draw a circle from here to pass through those 2 points. Then I would use the quadrant here to get that quick and fast. Then you're going to draw your ridge line, which you must always be parallel here, and where this stops is where this ridge ends and where this hip ends. So this ridge meets this hip. So here will be trimmed off. Yeah, as all of this will become one side. So be mindful of that. And we bisect the angle that is formed here. We're going to bisect the angle that is formed here. And this would eventually drop or fall right there to create our valley. So everything pretty much falls into place. When we bisect this angle here, that will fall into place there. Nice and easy. Nice and easy as cheese. Now, the next thing to be mindful of, so let me brighten up this side as well. Brighten up this side. And brighten up this side as well. Now, something which is of great importance that you must take note of. Now, the rafters must be perpendicular to the ridge as well as to the fascia board. Yeah? So first, identify your ridge or your fascia board and ensure that your rafters are perpendicular to that. Yeah? Perpendicular. Very important. If you don't know or if you don't follow that rule, you will run into problem when you join your rafters. Yeah. And of course, remember, we try to start here first, then work our way around. Yeah. To get our rafters. Yeah. Very important. And again, so here is our valley. Here is our valley. Right here is our valley. So we have, in this case, I have only one valley rafter here as well. And again, we start from the center here and we work our way around like this. Yeah, to get our roof framework. So that is basically how we get generator roof framework. Now, you will need to label all these components. Yeah, very important. Now, something which I must point out is that your roof, before you draw this, you need to establish the outline for the wall. Yeah, that must be established. Yeah, like here, like in this case, here is the wall outline. The wall outline must be established first before we can start the roof. So the wall outline is established, then we offset this by 450 millimeters all the way around to get the roof. Because remember now, there is always a overhang. So this is our wall, and this is the overhang distance. This is the end elevation for it. And if you take note of a roof, you'll realize that we have an overhang, or the roof typically hangs a little distance over the wall. So please be mindful of that. So if you look here, you'll see a roof overhang here. That is one. This is another type of roof overhang. If you look on this right here, you'll see another roof overhang. And let me try to locate some more. Okay, here as well. So if you look at this little section right here, here is the roof overhang. This is the part of the roof that protrudes beyond the wall or beyond the building. It acts as a covering or a little shade from the weather. Yeah. Here again, we look at see another roof, the roof overhang here, and around here we'll see the roof overhang. And if you take note of most building, you'll be able to see the roof overhang. Yeah. If you look up here again, you'll see right here, you see the roof overhang, and those are all roofs. Now, it is of great importance for you to know and be able to label the different parts of the roof. So the first part we're looking at is the fascia board. The fascia board is the piece of board around the edge here, which covers the edge of the rafters. And we have common rafters. These are the common rafters. The common rafters are the full length rafters that runs from the ridge board down to the fascia board. Full length ones are referred as common rafters. So they typically run here. We have jack rafters. Jack rafters are referred to the short rafters, the shorter ones, which typically runs from the fascia board up to the hip rafters. So these are the jack rafters. We also have valley rafters. The valley rafters are the rafters that run from the ridge board down to the valley rafter. So this is the valley rafter. So the short ones that are in the valley are referred to as the valley rafters. We also have our ridge and our ridge board. So the ridge board is the horizontal pieces where the rafters are connected to. Yeah, it's normally in the center of the roof. So we have one side of roof here, one side there, and that runs onto that. We also have our ridge cap, which is the covering around the edge of the ridge. And of course, we discussed our valley rafters before. Now, as it relates to the measurements of these, fascia board is typically 225 by 25 millimeters. Rafters are typically 150 by 50. In some cases where they use truss, it is typically 100 by 50. Common rafters is basically the same size as well as jack rafters. Now, the ridge board is typically 200 or 150 by 50. So the ridge board is typically a little bit wider than the rafters, and the valley rafters are typically the same. Now the overhang is typically 450, and of course the overhang is the distance that the roof protrudes beyond the building. Yeah, that is referred to as our overhang. So here is our overhang, this distance here, and that's of great importance. Now, it is important to note that when you're generating your roof, your elevation, you need to factor that into consideration. I've seen ever so often where students start to draw their roof from the wall here. No, you need to ensure that you establish the overhang first before you do that. Okay, guys, I hope you find this video useful. Please like and subscribe.